Henry the Green Engine has pulled the Flying Kipper on the Island of Sorrow for many years. Henry enjoys this because it gives him a long run to stretch his wheels. Although having many checkered paths with the Flying Kipper, he still enjoys pulling the train. One day, Henry was at the docks to collect the Flying Kipper. He backed up to the train, and the driver and fireman prepared for the final preparations of the journey. Henry noticed a large lorry sitting next to him. He glanced at the lorry, and the lorry glanced back at Henry. "Hello," said Henry. "Who are you?" "I'm Jonathan," replied the lorry. "What's your name?" "I'm Henry. What brings you to Brendam Docks today?" "Sir Topham Hatt asked me to come over and help you with your fish runs," replied Jonathan. Henry was shocked. A lorry, he thought? Helping me with the Flying Kipper? "Anyway," said Jonathan, "I better get going. Sir Topham Hatt doesn't want me to be late on my first day." And with that, Jonathan started up his engine and roared away. Henry was furious. He couldn't believe what he had heard. And so with that, Henry waited for his fire to build up, and he fumed away. Later that day, Henry was at the works getting his coupling rods fixed. He was talking to Ryan about his encounter with the new lorry. "That is strange," thought Ryan. He had had a checkered past with lorries back where he came from. "I just hope Sir Topham Hatt doesn't end up giving my job to that lorry, that's for sure." "Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Sir Topham Hatt gave you the job as pulling the Flying Kipper anyways, so I doubt that he'll be giving your job to that lorry." "Well, I hope not," fumed Henry. "When I see Jonathan tomorrow, I'm going to prove to him that I can do it much better than he can. He is a lorry and he runs on the road. Rails are better than the road any day." "All right," said Ryan, "but be careful. You're bound to run into trouble again, like you did in the past with the Flying Kipper." "Oh, just watch me. I'll prove to that lorry that I'm better than him tomorrow. Just you wait and see. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go and collect the Flying Kipper for my evening run." And with that, Henry fumed away. Oh dear, thought Ryan. He knew it was going to happen. That night, Henry collected the Flying Kipper and was shortly making his way across the island. He felt very proud for the train, even though he still couldn't take his mind off Jonathan. Henry's first stop was at Wellsworth Station. Henry stopped near the platform and waited for some of his vans to be unloaded. While Henry's cars were being unloaded, Jonathan pulled up beside him. "Good evening," said Jonathan. "You look cheerful tonight." "Yes," said Henry, "because I will beat you, and I am better than you anyways." Jonathan was surprised. Soon, Henry was ready to go, and with that, he quickly steamed out of Wellsworth, leaving a very surprised Jonathan behind. Jonathan quickly followed behind. Meanwhile, Henry was racing along the main line to his next stop. He wanted to get there before Jonathan got there, so he tracked down. But just up ahead, there's a sharp bend in the tracks. Henry was heading for trouble. "Oh, help!" cried Henry. "The driver applied the brake, but it was too late." was heard, but a strong smell of fish hung in the air. Henry, on the other hand, felt very silly. Harvey soon arrived with Rocky. Henry was soon lifted back onto the rails. He was feeling very cold and tired, but very silly at the same time. Jonathan heard the crash and stopped by the accident scene to help. Harvey's crew and Jonathan's driver helped load the rest of the fish from the broken cars into Jonathan's trailer. And soon, Jonathan set off. Harvey pulled Henry to the works. That next morning, Henry was at the works being mended. He was still shaken from the accident and was hoping to make it up to Jonathan the next time he saw him. He was still feeling silly for what he had done. Henry's side rods were broken, so they had to be repaired. Just then, Henry heard a familiar sound. It was Jonathan backing towards him. Henry was surprised to see him at the works. "Good morning, Henry," said Jonathan. "Are you all right?" "Oh, I'll be all right," said Henry. "Just a minor accident, that's all. I'll be out by this afternoon, hopefully." "Well, that's good," said Jonathan. "Sir Topham Hatt asked me to bring some new engine parts here to the works, and I suspect one of them is for you." "Thank you, Jonathan," said Henry happily. Soon Henry was out of the works and ready to head back home to tin the sheds. Jonathan pulled up alongside Henry. "Jonathan, I'm sorry I was horrible to you. I was silly for thinking that Sir Topham Hatt was going to give you my job, and now I know that that's never going to happen. I'm just really sorry." "Oh, it's all right," said Jonathan. "I know exactly how you feel. I know I felt that way when I first heard about intermodal freight service for the first time." Henry knew that Jonathan was right. As Henry was puffing home to tin the sheds, he was thinking about his new friend Jonathan. Jonathan was back at Brendam Docks getting his trailer cleaned out from today's work. Just then, Henry pulled up alongside. "Well, hello, Jonathan. It's a surprise to bump into you again." "Same to you," said Jonathan. "I suppose I'll be seeing you tomorrow night again, won't I?" "Oh, yes," said Henry. "I hear the Flying Kipper's going to be much bigger tomorrow, and you'll have more fish to deliver with me as well." "Oh, yes," said Jonathan. "Sir Topham Hatt came by to see me earlier just before you showed up. He told me as well." "Right, then. I'll see you tomorrow night." "Goodbye, Jonathan, and thanks for helping me." "Oh, you're welcome, Henry. I'll see you tomorrow night. Cheers." Meanwhile, Henry puffed slowly home.